up, Wizards? I've been getting some like private messages like, how do you beat Bravo as Kanoi in Blitz? People seem to be just getting fatigued by him, and honestly, the best way to do it is to pitch stack. But so I play a really good Bravo locally, and it's just a pitch stack match constantly. Like, I never lose it, but it always comes down to like me having a perfect pitch. So if your Bravo is trying to fatigue you, just automatically start setting up your pitch immediately. But let's get into this game because it didn't end like that. This Bravo, I don't really think knew what he was doing against Kano. So it's not like the greatest example, but you'll see it. I start setting up my pitch because he does have AB4 and Tunic, so that's a pretty good indication that he's just gonna swing his hammer and try to fatigue you out. But he does go first, so there's always the chance of like a dominated attack, but no, it's just gonna be a hammer swing, and it's probably safe to do that so that you don't, get KO'd. But I'm just gonna block that and then send this blazing down to the bottom so I know that it's there. And see if we're gonna go ahead and get into a fatigue matchup here. And he decides to set himself up with a big boy in the arsenal. So I'm going to force him to block a little bit, and then set up an Emeritus in my arsenal. Sometimes I wear Crown of Dominion in this matchup, and I usually wear Tunic. But I just didn't. I forgot to wear my Tunic this game, but it doesn't really matter. It does matter because you do get that value throughout the game if you are getting fatigued. But also chucking down and he decides to block it out, so I'm just gonna see what I have on top. And I've got another Emeritus, so I don't really want that in my hand at the same time as this other Emeritus, so I'm just gonna shoot it at him and just force some 4 damage on him. And I'm doing that to take advantage of the fact that he has he's pretty much priced into either taking the damage or dumping his whole hand, because he's got this Thunderquake stuck in arsenal, and unless he has blues, he's not playing it. So he took the damage, and he might still not have the blues to take it anyways. But like, an Aether Flare is a real good spell to get them to react to. So still thinking about my pitch, and then I draw into Nourishing and Reds, and I just draw into a shit hand except for the Nourishing. So he's gonna play a Healing Balm, and that's a good sign that he does want to fatigue me out. So I'm gonna put some more reds on the bottom. And then put this Blazing Aether into Arsenal, and I'll just have to sit on that, knowing that I have a pretty stacked stack at the bottom so far if we go that route. blocking with the Starstruck, which is pretty useless in this matchup. Would have been nice if he hit me with it last turn, but I think he also Oasis in this Nourishing, so I don't get the value out of it, but I do get 2 cards out of his hand, so which pretty much guarantees that Thunderquake is going to be stuck in his arsenal, just losing constant value. I'll probably just throw a hammer, which I'm going to just block with this. Because he has AB4, I'm just valuing the high damage from the Swell Tidings at this point. He plays a Piece of Mind, which I don't think he realizes doesn't cover up arcane damage. It only covers up physical. And he gives him a Ponder, which is completely useless. And I draw into a handful of reds, and I have Ophidia, so he's tapped out. He does have his Tunic at 3, so he can prevent 1 damage, but I see a Tome and a blue on top, so yeah, this is where I'm just gonna go here. I'm just gonna go off. Down to 2 more blues. So let's start dumping my hand so that I can get this Swell Tidings on top of Chain Lightning. So I don't even need to use my rags as long as I can find something else on top. Or my boots. I won't even need to break my boots or my rags if I can pull this off. So it's Kanoi once again. I've got a lot of resources. Aether Spindle. So yeah, this is just more than enough damage to kill him. So hit him with the Aether Spindle. I don't need to Metacarpus this, although I guess I could have. But I don't want to because I want to be able to play this. It doesn't even matter what's on top. It really doesn't. So none of that matters because I can just Chain Lightning him into the Swell Tidings, break my boots, and then Emeritus for 13, or I mean Blazing Aether for an additional 13, but he's dead at that point anyway, so I think he just concedes. He sees it writing on the wall. Even with the 1 resource, he couldn't have prevented imminent death. And it's actually probably good I didn't have Tunic because I might have used it thinking this was going to go into a fatigue match. But I drew the hand, he tapped out, and sees the Blitz coming, so he just checks out, I believe. And yeah, that's Bravo. That could have gone either way. Honestly, he really lost that game when he played Peace of Mind. But if they, always plan for fatigue, so start setting up the bottom of your deck.